Hello, we are a group of students from the law school and we want to tell you about nonverbal language and how it could be applied in our profession.
Nonverbal expressions of the face that you should keep in mind in your work life, especially in love. When it comes to emotion, our face at the canvas of the mind. That is why human beings transmit communication through the expression of the face. We identify it as the most expressive beings on the planet. In addition, this facilitates understanding among people has lack a common language. In the workplace and the professional life, it is very important to take into account the expression as they show the state of mind each person allows used to identify various emotion aspects such as joy, worry, sadness, confusion, tightness, pain, nervousness, and much more according to the movement that is perceived. It is muscle of our body, it especially the signals of the face. The above is essential in all professions of the time. It exertional especially in love scenes, yet truth, the interpretation and expression of the person cannot serve when there is doubt and with disbelief of life. But there are also those who express false or misleading feelings or controlling any distinction that the judge can determine. Therefore, it can be deduced that the facial expression is one of the most relevant means and the manifest nonverbal behavior. Through knowledge and observation, and thus achieve better understanding of what others communicate to us.
Interpreting nonverbal behavior of the eyes. Pupil construction. Many times believing people is difficult because they find it easy to lie. One way to know more about the person we are talking to is to analyze their eyes, their pupils, and the position of their head. Try to tilt your head in an elevator full of the stranger and leave it till this for the entire duration of the trip. For most people, this is extremely difficult to achieve because the inclination of the head is a reserved behavior for the moment when we feel really comfortable. Eyes can very precise barometers of our feeling because to a certain extent we have very little control over them. When we lie, sometimes we see our pupils dilate. When we do not, they contract. We do not have conscious control over our pupil, and they respond to both external stimuli, for example, change in light, and internal stimuli such as touch, in fraction of the second. The reactions of the pupil are difficult to observe, although these eyes behavior are very useful. People often do not look for them, ignore them. When we get excited, we are suddenly surprised or confronted. Our eyes open, they not only widen, but the pupils also dilate quickly to let in the maximum amount of available light, thus sending the maximum amount of visual information to the brain. In our profession, we can find people determined to cover up others. A key to know more about the research that suggests the nails and we can use are the cardboard cuts with nails close to the implicate. The important thing here is not the answer, but the expression of the eyes and the pupils of the person because if a nail surprises him, his eyes will open and his pupils will also. When clients or customers suddenly skim while reading a contract, it is likely that they are struggling with something in the wording of the text. The discomfort or doubt that is immediately registered in their eyes are transmitting this very clear message of disagreement or displeasure.
The eyes and the way we unconsciously use them to express our discomfort, frustration, sadness, surprise, or joy can serve as a great help factor in the practice of a lawyer. Let's do an exercise. Imagine that you are in an audience and you have to interrogate an alleged offender. You ask your first question and observe that his eyes immediately close. Remember that this is known as a blockage, an indication of concern, dislike, or disagreement. Probably know you and the judge are more certain that man is guilty of his crime. The judge dictates his sentence and you win. The man is sent to prison. You go quickly to where your client and you tell him the good news you have. Your eyes are very expressive and great now. You immediately know that you are satisfied with your work. Everyone thinks that our hands or feet can give a lot of information about how we feel. However, they ignore that our eyes can also serve as indicator of our feelings.
A nonverbal language that is important to emphasize is to look askance, because we look askance at people when we distrust them or when we are not convinced, for example, in a trial when one of the parties interrogates a witness. The lawyer can make these gestures as he listens to the witness answer, which means that his suspicion or his question the validity of such response. But this gesture is not disrespectful, it's rather curious. Now, every person in a moment uses a false and real smile. The false smile is used as a social obligation towards those we are not close to us or who simply do not like us, while the real smile is used for those people or events that are of our interest. Real smiles are hard to counterfeit when we have a sincere lack of emotion. This type of smile helps us to realize if we like or not a person. With this smile, can lawyer see the intention that the client has with him. Another form of nonverbal language is the understand of lips. The missing lips reflect stress, but this doesn't mean that the person is being deceiving, just means stress or anguish. The missing lips turning the corners of the mouth like an inverted U reflect an extreme amount of anguish and stress. We purse our lips when we disagree with something or someone, or are thinking of another alternative. To discover this is a person the lawyer should have a long conversation with the client to gather additional clues. For example, in a final trial, when a lawyer is making his or her pleadings known, the counterpart can purse his lips in a disagreement with the judge when he does not think what the lawyer says is right in this thought. Lip fronts are very common in people and should be considered as an effective means of gathering information about a situation.
Being able to decipher the great variety of facial expressions is a valuable tool for personal and professional relationships. It is privileged information that helps take the reins of communication, but today we live more than ever in the society of masks. The internet and social network pose a universe of masks where emotions are simplified like face in emoticons and relationship because become dehumanized. The forced emotions of the face dictated by the social opportunity suppose a greater muscular effort. A result of this, they are more marked on the face than natural expressions. The simulation for many efforts that are made to disguise it recorded on face. For example, edges, looking with narrow edges, frowning and lowering the eyebrows indicate disgust or discomfort. The pupils dilated to see something that we like and contract when we don't like. Therefore, the low-light environments, sunset, tableaus, with candles by delighting the pupil for natural attractions. When we are excited, we open your eyes wide. And the mouth passing to the tongue throat, the lips shows a calming behavior. They tend to calm us down. Other nonverbal behavior on the face. In the front, the wrinkled brow is an undeniable clue of discomfort and uneasiness. In the nasal dilatation, the widening of the nasal passages indicates excitement. We wrinkle our nose to show aversion or disgust.